Hey, what's up, guys? Just wanted to do another Q&A session. So please ask away until I see a question. I'm just gonna rant about stuff and all that. But for the most part, this is just gonna be questions from you guys. I will prioritize super chats over normal questions, but as long as the question is relevant or I can answer it, then I will answer it. But how are you guys doing this Friday? How's your dates been? How are your relationships? How's work? How's everything? It's been a crazy week for some of us. I got surgery. It was my first time being on anesthesia, and I can tell you right now, it's a very interesting feeling. Sorry, it's a very interesting feeling to be on anesthesia. Um, like I remember the anesthesiologist coming in and injecting some fluid into my IV, and then I started being rolled away, and then I moved into a room, and this was like in the like about 1 or 2 minutes. In about 2 minutes, I woke up. That's what it felt like. Then I blinked, and then I woke up, and my hand was completely wrapped in a stent, and I felt like I've gotten one of the best naps of my life. I felt absolutely amazing, and I'm just like, wow, this feels really good. But my hand, you could just tell like something was inside of it, like there's metal pins. But it was interesting experience. Like anesthesia was very like it just felt like the best nap of my life. And I was a little groggy and tired afterwards. And when I was going home, I just felt good. I just felt like you know, rested and all that. And then throughout the day, the pain started like little by little getting worse and worse. So I took some Tylenol with codeine, and the Tylenol with codeine really kind of it wasn't even working, right? I was still in pain, and I slept well that night. Like for some reason, when you take Tylenol with codeine, you sleep deeper. I don't know what it is. I'm sleeping amazing right now. Excuse me. Um, but when I woke up in the morning, I was like writhing in pain. Like I couldn't even think. It wasn't like so much pain where I would just let out like a scream here and there or something. Like I was like I could feel the pins inside of my finger. So luckily the nurse called me and I said, hey, she kind of like checked up on me. How are you feeling? And I was like, I'm doing well. It's just that I'm in a lot more pain than I thought. Like, I can function, it's just I'm, like, shaking a little bit from the pain, and she's like, "Oh, well, you can take ibuprofen in between doses." And I'm like, "Oh, okay, well," and I did that, and it kinda just solved everything, like, I'm feeling much better, and right now, I'm, like, lowering the dose of, Tylenol with codeine because codeine is some really strong stuff. So, I think, I'll just instead of taking 4 pills a day, I'm just gonna take 2, and then I'll just wean myself off little by little, or just take it as necessary. Like, right now, I have, like, a normal pain in my finger. It's like like something fell on my finger, like, uh, something kinda heavy fell on my finger, and that's how it feels right now, but nothing too unbearable. But yeah, that's basically where I'm at with the recovery. I mean, I'm gonna be out for a while, so I guess I'll just stream and make content, which, is probably good for me and all that stuff, and a lot of free time, to maybe finish some books, catch up on animes and video games. I probably will wanna go to back to work by midweek next week. I predict that I'm going to start getting, like, itching to go back to work, but, for right now, it's good to just let my mind wander, and, all I have to worry about is make sure the dog is fed, and, I already went to Costco, so the fridge is full, and, I can cook, and all that stuff. I just gotta take it easy and all that, so and just make content and all that, but overall, it's just, uh, you know, once I figured out the meds and how to take them, everything is downstream from there. But yeah, pretty good experience. Dealing with insurance is not very fun, especially workers' comp. It was a long process. I've heard people that have taken a month or 2 months just to get their surgery approved and all that. But I'm glad I was like in 2 weeks I was able to be get my surgery approved and all that. So I'm happy about that. And on top of that, um, like I can go back to the gym. I think Monday I'll start doing lower body, nothing that requires any type of grip or any type of push or pull, anything with my hands, right? Anything that things that only isolate legs. So I guess I could ask ChatGPT for a workout, but I think um I'm just gonna do like just leg days. And I'm going to do some stretching, right? Some stretching, lower body, especially lower body stretching. I can't do dead hangs. I was doing lots of dead hangs because my back, decompress my back and all that. So I guess what I'll do is just very light, so light stretching, and then I will do what's it called? Anything like I'll do single leg press right on machine because that doesn't require grip. I mean, you can hold the bars to hold yourself in place, but other than that, not a lot of grip. Um, I'm going to do leg extensions, single leg extensions. I think I might do some reverse leg curls. I think yeah, I'll do that, and I'll do the bike. I'll hop on the bike. The only thing is I can't sweat too much because I don't want to sweat my cast and my gauze. So I'll probably just do some light biking and all that stuff. Definitely stay away from the sauna. Uh, let's see what else. I'll do calves, some calf workouts, and yeah. Trying to think what else I'm gonna do. I forgot what it's called, but that one machine where it's just like you lay on it, and you just do this with your back and all that. Not I don't know if it's effective. I've heard that you shouldn't wanna do that with weights or do weighted versions of those, but maybe that'll help decompress my back a little bit. Um, Trying to think what else. Uh, but yeah, maybe I'll ask ChatGPT for anything else. So yeah, single leg press, single leg extension, um, reverse leg curls, and yeah, those are the ones and all that. Yeah, pretty much. I'm trying to think if there's anything else I can do. Um, but yeah, that's all that that's just more to like burn calories, because I'm gonna be home burning less, so I don't want to get fat and all that stuff. And I might start, changing my diet here, and because I'm doing much less physical activity, so I don't get fat or anything like that. So I might just like, take the sugar out my coffee. Um, skip breakfast. Like I usually skip breakfast, but this time, like really skip breakfast. Just have a coffee or green tea in the morning, and then maybe one piece of chicken or a steak in the around 2 or 3, and then just call it a night, right? And then maybe a protein shake, a light protein shake, or here and there. But yeah, that's pretty much it. That's how I'm coping with this stuff. I'm gonna go back to the gym on Monday, take it really easy. Um, and you know, maybe not Monday, maybe Wednesday, because I'm not allowed to drive for like a week, but we'll see. I feel fine. I'm not under the effects of anything and all that. So, um, yeah, man, that's where we're at mentally. So, yeah. Filipino says, "What's the best workout to strengthen my finishing move, the 619?" Well, have you subscribed to my Substack? I have plenty of moves there to study and all that. But yeah, guys, speaking of the Substack, currently just published article number 62. And I've been bouncing around the leaderboard for Rising in Philosophy. I had to choose a niche or a topic. I don't know what they call them on Substack, and I chose philosophy because obviously the red pill isn't a philosophy, right? But I'm like, yeah, you kind of like it's the closest thing that I can to define what I write about. So I chose that, and I've been bouncing around. At first I was 26th, then 80th, then I got knocked off, and then now I'm 12th. I don't know what it is this morning. I'll check for you guys. Let me see. Let me see. Let's see. All right, now I'm just checking notifications. You know me. You gotta. Okay. Okay, now I'm 36th this morning. All right, so I knocked down a peg, but that's not the point. The point is that, um, the point is that, my writing is being recognized. I don't know how this algorithm works. I don't think that it means much, and because some of these guys on here that are on this leaderboard, like I don't know how much. Like, let's see, let's go to the person who took my spot, like Donald J. Robertson. He's 12th right now. He has 56K subscribers, right? I have like 1,200. And if we look at let's look at the person right above me. So I'm 36. So let's look at Dr. Zag. Okay, well he has only 300. I guess it's not so much followers. I think it's more like uh engagement and how many people are liking your stuff. I don't know. That's something to look at. But all in all, guys, it's a good sign. I'm glad it's kind of like the boost I needed to keep going. When you guys make content like this, right? There's a lot of stuff, especially red pill dating stuff. There's a lot of stuff you have to deal with. Sometimes it can be antagonistic, because you have to interact with people and all that online, and people can say mean things, and that's normal. I mean, I asked for it. This is what it's part of the deal, right? But it can be over time very it could wear you out and all that stuff. So it's nice to once in a while get a W, get some kind of recognition, and yeah, we'll go from there. I'm happy to be on this leaderboard. I've been on the leaderboard for the last 2-3 weeks, and um, yeah, so it is what it is, right? But yeah, you guys have any guys ask questions, ask away. It doesn't have to be about dating, anything you guys want or anything, but uh so but yeah, yeah, the last thing I wrote about was approaching women at the gym. And I think that this is a topic that everyone seems to have plant their flag down really, really firmly on the ground. Like, you shall not approach women at the gym. And then other guys are just like, shoot or shoot. And I'm in the second camp. I think shoot or shoot. I don't like to put rules on what guys should or shouldn't do, because it's not about, hey, what worked for me or whatever um should work for you. It should be like, hey, how are you feeling? What do you think? What's the feedback you're getting, right? Because we don't want to create more students or soldiers, right? We want to create more questioning. We want to create more channels to get data back, right? So if I tell 100 men do exactly what I did, there's no feedback there. There's no learning or anything like that. But if I tell 100 men, hey, try it out, see what happens and report back, there's a lot more information and data, and that makes this pool of information called the red pill more robust and more useful, right? So every time a guy says be exactly like me, it's a waste of time, right? It should be like, dude, what do you want? Try this, try that. It worked for me, it didn't work for me. And then when they come back, you have more data, as long as they're honest, and more people will be helped, right? So openers or icebreakers suggestions. Uh, well, be specific. What's the context, right? Like, are we on the street? Are we at an event, social circle? Are we online? Like, be specific with uh, openers and all that stuff. Um, and I probably have a few. I have a few for Tinder. I have a few for in real life and all that stuff. But realize that it's all very environment dependent. Let me fix my face here. There we go. It's all location independent and all that stuff, and context contextual, right? Very contextual. So be specific. What do you want openers for? Uh, but yeah, guys. So yeah, 62 essays, and I'm going to start working on 63 sometime today. I'm happy that I'm so far along. I'm over the hump. I'm already like getting closer to being more like I'm more than half done with my book, essentially, in terms of like the base content of it. I don't know, after that I'm done with this, I don't know how long it takes to go through editing and all that stuff. But I'm happy. The point of the book isn't to become a bestseller or anything. It's just to put something out there in writing that kind of sums up who I am, what I've experienced, and then if anyone ever asks, just hand them a copy. Just hand them a copy and say, "Hey, read it and come back to me with questions or whatever." So yeah, dance halls or even public places like supermarket and gas stations. Okay, so um, Dance halls, I would like I'm gonna guess, like, dance halls are, like, contrary to popular belief, right? For guys that are on the outside, they see women and men dancing, and they think, "Oh, this is a sexual zone. This is a very sexy place where everyone's just fondling each other, and everyone's gonna go have an orgy after a freak off," right? Not really. Um, Dance places have lots of boundaries, right? If you are creepy, you will get outed really fast. Um, so for dance halls, it's treated like a social circle environment. So openers for a dance hall, right, is if you are dancing, your opener should be "Would you like to dance?" Right? That is the opener for you. You don't go to a dance hall to just mac on women. The purpose of a dance hall is to use the context to get some keno in, to have fun. Number one is to have fun. Like screw the women. Like you're there to dance with women and have fun. And within all that mess and socializing and having fun and endorphins, some women will be more friendly than others. And these are the women you want to focus on. The women that kind of like want to dance with you more, the women that seem super friendly, the women that want to get to know you, all these things. Um, with those women, since you already said, "Hey, would you like to dance?" and you're talking and all that stuff, the opener's already been done. The opener was, "Would you like to dance?" Right? And that's it. That's easy for dance halls. Um, Public places like supermarket, gas stations. I'll tell you something about I'll tell you something about public places like stuff like that. Right? It doesn't matter what the opener is. Realize this, guys, that women are being approached so little that you even saying hello, just hi, what's up, is like a good opener. The age of being worried about what to say is over, and you can thank guys that are giving up um on women, right? They have delivered you an easier game. And that's what I'm saying, guys. A lot of people are so worried about, oh, dating is hopeless or it's over or everything's harder now, but like you hear all these people giving up, right? Think of it like this. Let's say you're playing Fortnite or Apex Legends and you haven't won a battle royale in like months, weeks, whatever, right? And then you start hearing that a lot of people are like, "Hey, Apex is too hard. I haven't gotten a battle royale in a long time or I haven't won a royale in a long time or the last update, made the game harder." And all these people that used to play against are slowly leaving the game, right? So now your chances of getting a battle royale or winning a royale are higher because the competition is you know leaving the tournament before they even have a chance to play. So because of this, your pickup lines are now something less you have to worry about, right? Obviously, there's things you should not say. You have to look at your environment, read the room. But I would say in a public place like a supermarket or a gas station, just saying hello or asking her a question, which has worked since the early PUA days, works, right? Like, let's say you're in the cereal aisle of Target, and she's next to you, and she's looking, and she's next to you. Say, hey, like, one of the hardest decisions of my day is choosing a cereal. What's your favorite, right? And look like you're like actually trying to choose a cereal, and you'll be surprised how women how open women are to talking. It may not be like she wants to give you her number or her Instagram, right? But you'll be surprised how much women crave to just have a guy talk to them. It will make their day. So worry less about exactly what to say, worry about what not to say, right? That definitely is very important. And realize that it doesn't matter really that much about how smooth the pickup line is, right? It matters that you actually say it confidently. And that's it. Written any books? No, not yet. I'm in the process. But if you follow my Substack, all my work's there. There's 62 essays, guys. Like it's good value. I don't know about you guys, like $7 a month, and I'm writing like an essay every 2 days, every 3 days. I think that's good value, guys. So try it out. Maybe try it out for a month, a week. I think there's a free trial. I'm not sure. And read some of my stuff, and you'll realize that like maybe this will help, right? But it's $7 a month, and when all this is done, I will start writing. Um, I will start writing more field reports, more up to date stuff, but I have to get through these 100 articles first, right? So thank you guys for subscribing. The guys that already have, I'm at 93 subscribers. I'm trying to get to 100 by the end of the week. If you guys do this, all the proceeds we're going to go to fund the book and all that stuff. And yeah, and also guys, if you join my Discord, I will make a thread, or what do you call it, like a server. I'll make a server about like book updates and writing updates and all that stuff. And honestly, if you guys would like to be part of the Discord, um just I'll put the link in the chat for the Discord. Like, once if you guys need video calls or one-to-one or more attention, it is paid, right? But there is free. The general board is free. You can ask questions freely, and I'll get to them when I get to them, right? But if you're paying, I will give you special attention, around the clock support. I'm at home most of the time now because of my recovery, and even when I'm working, half of the day I'm online, so I can give you the attention you need. But anyways, I will put updates there as soon as I get closer to the book's publishing, as well as on Substack. And right now, I am open to suggestions for the book cover. So if you guys have ideas or suggestions, hit me up on Discord. And because I got to start choosing like the art and all that stuff. So thank you guys again for the support. Anyways, don't make me get my Nacho Libre mask on. I think I don't know what you're talking about. This is me 24/7. Like, I shower like this. I go to work like this. I don't know what what you're referencing about masks or anything, Glenn. So this is my natural. Yeah, that was good advice, Newt. Thank you. Yeah, you're welcome, man. My pleasure. Uh, but yeah, yeah, guys, girls aren't being approached. They absolutely love being approached. The thing is, you got to be socially accountable. Don't be weird, right? But even if even if you don't know how to move the conversation along, just say hello. A quick, very neutral compliment goes a long way, and all that. And if you're scared to like ask for a number, just say hello. That's the worst thing. What's the worst thing that could happen, right? These horror stories on the media, sorry, on the social media, are meant to discourage you, right? It's just people who are playing Fortnite trying to get people to not play, so they can win the royale themselves. It's all competition and all that. What's it about? The book is about dating, my friend. It is about, like, if you guys go on my Twitter thread on X. Here, I'm gonna post the thread here on X. It is gonna be based on this thread, which I amassed a whole bunch of experience and funny stories, and it will be based on that. So currently, I am writing about point number 66. No, sorry, 63 on the thread, and I either will publish it tonight or tomorrow morning, depending on how I feel. Again, I'm on meds, I'm on codeine, and as much as I want to do stuff, I have to take it easy, and I should probably relax. Luckily, the pain has subsided a lot. I feel much better, but again, the surgeon said try not to do much until your follow up, where I can reassess you and all that. But yes, guys, any other questions? Any other things you guys would like to talk about? Uh, Sorry, I'm just checking Twitter to see if there's anything interesting here. Well, that excuse is unacceptable. Thor wrote an entire book, The Superhero Inside, on drugs. Well, pain relievers. I don't want to hear no excuses from you. Yeah, don't worry. I'll be off of them soon. It's just that my dog was getting scared. I was like in pain, and my dog's like, "What's wrong with you, bro?" And I'm like, "I don't know." But I mean, it's surgery. It's supposed to hurt. It's not supposed to, it's not a walk in the park. And it was only on my little finger. But you'd be surprised. Like, I thought, oh, it's just surgery on my finger. I'm going to be back to work by Friday. No, the surgeon's like, no work until the 28th. And I'm like, Jesus, it's just a finger. Like, I have but the thing is, each finger you have is important, and it performs a function. Like if your finger is completely wrapped and stint in a stent, whatever they call it, like even moving the other fingers will cause it pain unless you're high on drugs or high on codeine or something. So yeah, but it is what it is, guys. Sometimes as a man, you're so used to doing stuff and being productive and getting up and moving heavy stuff and going to the gym that the minute you can't do those things even for a while, you're just in shock. You're like, wow, how do people live like this? Juan Correa says, are the essays on Patreon as well? Correct. The essays are on Patreon, but my Patreon is going to continue to have those essays, but it's also going to have like behind the scenes stuff of my life. I'm going to be posting more very personal stuff on my Patreon. So I don't want to make my Patreon a copy of Substack. I wanted to make it its own thing and all that stuff. So, but they will still get my essays because I like to, just in case I get canceled on Substack or canceled on Patreon, I have a backup and all that stuff. So, um, but yeah, the essays are on Patreon if you guys would like to subscribe there. My Patreon, once I have some little time, it will change into a behind the scenes. When I mean behind the scenes, it isn't some like look at all this crazy stuff I'm doing. It's just like, hey, I'll post like maybe a story with a picture of a girl that obviously with their face blocked out, tell a story. It's gonna be more personal and all that stuff. So if you guys would like, um, if you guys would like a more personal look at me and who I am and all that stuff, you guys are welcome to subscribe there. I think there it's like $5 a month or something. But yeah, what do you think about what do you think about Dark Triad? So Dark Triad, in the effort of having to define everything and put everything into a box and nomenclature, people have come up with something called Dark Triad, and Dark Triad is basically being selfish and and accepting and realizing that there is no morality in dating. There is no you got to be a good man to get a good outcome. And that's basically what Dark Triad is. It's just realizing that there is no morality in dating. That everything goes within the confines of the law. And as you guys progress in dating and get to know women, you realize that there really is nothing you can do about women's agency, right? There's not much you can do. So in knowing that and accepting that, you are free to move. You can move freely. And what I mean by move freely is that you can be Dark Triad. You can be selfish. You can put yourself first. You can start seeing women as means to an end, which is your own personal pleasure, or as a funnel for other women. And you may think that there's some kind of like karma associated with this. But guys, just like when I say there is no revenge fantasy for women, like women will always win, men, you guys can have it all too. And that's the point. The point is not to hyper fixate on women and what they're doing and all that. The point is that you can fixate on what you're doing and win and get everything you've ever wanted, right? How many people on the internet are constantly, what it doesn't matter what gender, are trying to tell the other gender that if you keep doing this thing that it's inconvenient to me, you're gonna pay the price. And you see it every day, right? But I've done things to women that are not great. Like I've just ghosted women out of the blue, or I've hooked up with women and then strung them along. Like obviously, I don't recommend that. It brings more problems than it does. But nothing happened. Nothing happened. Right? Obviously, there was one time where I got doxxed, and then all I did was a year later, she admitted to all these things that she did. She doxed me and she made a TikTok about me and all that stuff. Um, and what ended up happening was I think we matched on a dating app, I think Facebook dating, and she's like, "Wow, I can't believe it's you," like very sarcastic and all that stuff. And then we met up, and I basically just apologized, right, but in a smooth way, not in a groveling way, like, "Hey, my bad, that was kind of me." She's like, "Okay," and then we hooked up two more times. Zero, literally, like all I got DOS, right, but on the "Are we dating the same guy Dallas" page, all it did was give me better marketing. I saw the comments and the girls were just like, like, "Damn, he looked good." or whatever, right? Because women are attracted to assholes. It's always been that way, right? So don't look at it as dark triad because it's just repackaging being your own mental point of origin to sound cool, right? Just look at it this way: put yourself first, put what you want first to the point where it's almost like accepting, where you have to accept that society is not going to like it, right? So if you say, hey, I had sex with this girl and I had a good time, but I also like her sister, then hit on her sister too. What's stopping you? What law is telling you you can't do that, right? Obviously the women can do or say things to like make your life a little difficult, right? But most of the time they won't do anything. Ask me how I know. And just do that. And for people that may seem like, wow, you are dark try, you're a dark person, you're in your dark man era or something, you're evil. I'm like, no, you just liked a girl and you had sex. It's not that complicated. The thing is that guys have a self-editing system through guilt and morality. It's not the right thing to do, but dude, you like her, just get it done. Who cares? There is no consequences. So once guys accept that, that's when they realize, oh, there is no revenge fantasy also applies to me. Because now I can get what I want out of life and still get everything I wanted. And guess what? You'll still end up with a hot young girl that will be a good wife. And that's the beauty of all this, right? You can win. And more importantly, you can win on your terms. So yes, Dark Triad is a thing, but let's not let's call it what it really is. Just being your own mental point of origin. And that's all it is. It's just I want this and I'm gonna get it. And there's no shame involved. It's just I want it. And that's it. I love the mask. What mask? I don't know what you guys are talking about. This is like me every day. You guys are just seeing things. I don't know what you guys are seeing talking about some mask or anything like that. But yeah. All right, guys. I have to use the bathroom real quick. I'll be right back. All right, sorry. Using the toilet's a little different when you have only one hand, and the other hand is like, if you even touch it, it's in pain. So I'm back. Anyways, okay, so we got another question. Women so often call men with mental point of origin narcissism. The women then complain, "My ex was a narcissist." Well, you fucked him. Sounds like a winning strategy. Yeah. Always watch what women do, not what they say. Women will go on the internet and say this, this, and that. At some point, you're going to have to, be like, hey, um, it doesn't matter what women say. It really doesn't. It's like literally the thing you should least care in the world is what women say. So, and yeah, it's jarring to see men constantly because a lot of these content creators, their content hinges on the fact that what women say on out of pocket TikToks and all that stuff um is true, right? So if a girl says, "I don't do this for a man," how many of us have seen women that just say all the crazy things on the internet or whatever, and in real life they just bang losers, or they say that men ain't whatever this, and yet they obsess with men or something like that in real life. So it's like, don't listen to that. It's not helpful. It's a wasting your time. Um, any content creator that takes women at face value is either trying to use rage bait to, reel you in, or is inexperienced themselves, right? So we're not here to just sulk. We're not here to just sulk in our, you know, in how we can't control women or what they do, right? We're here to find solutions and move on and do stuff more important than just worrying about what women do outside of us, right? You can't build a positive male identity on taking women at face value. So, yeah, good question. Hink, is that you? I don't know who Hink is. So, all right. So, yeah, guys. Any other questions you guys have? Let's pull up the timeline here. Let's go to. Oh, this is interesting. So yesterday, let me bring it up here. So yesterday, this girl posted this. I thought it was funny. You gotta have fun on the internet. Like, a lot of people think the internet is to be taken seriously, or people are here to, like, you know, kind of get attention and adoration, right? But like, this is the internet. The internet is unisex. The internet is not here, so you can get your validation, especially not X, right? That's go on Instagram where it's mostly female and girls will give you, but people come here, and I'm just like, okay, time to go through the timeline and be a little rude, and that's just normal. It's the internet. That's what you're supposed to do, right? Or else it's boring. Why be nice and compliment people on mediocre dishes? Nah, waste of time. So we see here, can't even describe how good it smells here, making the garlic and rosemary mashed potatoes, blah, 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 right? And it doesn't look like anything special. It looks way too watery. Obviously, this is not the finished product, right? But I've looked recently in the last month some mashed potatoes recipe because I was like, I'm tired like of my mashed potatoes. Not that I eat them a lot, turning out like mediocre, right? So one of the things I learned is that um you take the garlic, you slice it in half, right? And then you put it in the oven, you bake it for what, like 15 minutes, 10 minutes, and then it'll turn into like almost like a mush, and then you just squeeze it out of the garlic head, and you have this like liquid baked garlic that comes, and you can put that in your potatoes, right? Another thing is putting cream in there, which probably should put cream in there. And I don't think you put full rosemary sprigs in there, but that just doesn't look like professional. the mixing too, it looks very like she's like first time cooking. So it's pretty obvious she doesn't know what she's doing. That's okay, whatever. Um, but one thing I've noticed, right? There's always a lesson in everything, and one thing I've noticed about this, right? Let me go back. So I said a good way to know a woman is not good at cooking is that she celebrates every dish like this, right? So for people that never do anything but want a lot of the credit for doing something, they tend to oversell or over romanticize or over whatever what they're doing. And cooking seems to be like the number one thing, right? So it's not that she's bad at cooking, right? Because anyone can just go on YouTube Shorts and look up how to make good um good potatoes, right? It's not that hard. It's not like a something that takes school or anything. It's just look what someone on the internet does. But the thing is here, right? I think someone said, I don't know who said it, but essentially, let me find it. Essentially, it was like, let me see. Uh, like low effort cooking plus high narcissism, right? So this is like low effort cooking, meaning that it doesn't look good, it's not appetizing, it's just liquid potato slop. And it's high narcissism, meaning like, look how awesome I am. I'm making potatoes. Now it could have been like a sarcasm post or something like that. But for the most part, it's just like, wow. This is what I'm saying, guys. When you're dealing with women and people in general, um, one of the things that you're really going to start appreciating as you get older is competent women, women that can do things and not need their hand held throughout their whole life. Because all sides of the aisle, both politically, ideologically, all agree on one thing. They think that women are children, that women can't do things, that they reduce them to these helpless creatures. And women take advantage of this by saying, hey, then I can be incompetent and lazy and not have to try as hard in life. And I'm like, no, dude, that's just gonna cause you so much pain as a guy. Like you want a girl that can like do things, like that can make mashed potatoes, fry an egg. Not so much because you need it to be done, because I've been single or I've been living alone most of my life at this point. And I don't need anyone to do things for me. However, I need to know that you can do it for yourself. And I need something to go off of to know that you're not a complete lazy person, right? So here, she's like, "Oh, hi, so you're interested in me existing? Thank you." I'm like, I suck at cooking, but my sucking at cooking is not the same as her sucking at cooking. My sucking at cooking is like, hey, I didn't plate these asparagus correctly. All right. And maybe my salmon reduction was a little bit too salty. Like things that people would look like this. I'm like, wow, you're a high level. I'm like, I'm not. I gave a shit. I tried. Right. Like here, my arroz con pollo, like the chicken looks a little dry. It was delicious, by the way. Right. But the tostones were a little crispy. But that's how I like it. But maybe there's things I could improve, right? Here is my I think this was churrasco, right? My what's the sauce called? My chimichurri looks a little chunky, right? Maybe I didn't chop up the parsley correctly or whatever you use for chimichurri, I forgot. And all that stuff, right? But here's my lamb chops or my lamb ribs, This actually came out good. Again, the chimichurri looks a little, chunky here, but you guys get the gist of it, right? It's just uh and she didn't take it really well, right? Like um like we go to her page here. This is funny. I hope I hope she doesn't look like that in real life, because if she does, I will apologize immediately. But that's not the point. And she says, I have gone viral overnight, 19.1 thousand views. I'm like, guys, that's not viral. That's views. That's not, maybe she's new to Twitter or something, but that's not viral at all. Um, this is the difference between me and you. You don't get noticed no matter how hard you try. Become a trending topic just by cooking mashed potatoes. My family dish shall henceforth be known, named as Holly's viral rosemary potatoes with art. Honestly, I think she took it in stride. I think this is adorable. Um, and you know, I'm actually probably gonna follow her back. I like this. I like this type of humor and back and forth. She knows how to banter, right? So she even made a new page. I don't know if she's heard or she's just playing into it. I don't know yet. But she made a whole new page uh about with the picture of the potatoes saying Holly's viral rosemary potatoes. I think this is adorable. This is cute. Like this warms my heart. and then we go to this page, and it's just 6 I'm following this page, 6 followers and all that stuff, and everything, has to do with, her potatoes, you know? Just she I don't know if, like, I don't know if, this is, I don't know how seriously to take this, but for the most part, hopefully this she didn't take it that seriously, this is all just a joke, but yeah, she made a whole second page for her potatoes and all that stuff, and, you know, I don't know. Yeah, this is all pretty weird. I don't know, what her thing is. I don't Yeah. Is this her? I don't know. Is that her in the bottom left? I like Layla. Layla's funny. We have good discussions. I think Layla's she plays dumb, but I think she's smarter than she seems. She's a smarter girl. You just some of these people like they take online discourse so sarcastically that sometimes when you're talking to them, you got to peel back the layers, right? But if she does look like this, like I think this is Lucy Liu, then I apologize on all fronts and have a nice day. But yeah, just just a funny thing and all that. So, but yeah, guys, Friday Q&A. You guys have any more questions? What is this? Oh, that's just another man. Twitter on Fridays. Am I right? Full of crazy. I posted. I think this is Anton. Anton, I forgot his last name from Ratatouille and all that. And I was like, 19.1K views is not viral, darling. Your dishes leave much to be desired. Whatever the voice he. But yeah, I don't know, guys. Just having fun. Don't take this stuff too seriously. But anyways, guys, thanks for watching. And I'll catch you guys next time.